What is up, crew? We got the dance music playing. Here we go. I don't know if it's gonna start going. I don't know if
There we
it's doing,
go.
but welcome back to the Optimum Nutrition Podcast. We had a 1 week hiatus, but hopefully that isn't. Whoa, what the heck happened there? Hopefully that is not the case anymore for us. My AirPods just randomly disconnected and connected, so we're doing well now. We're doing well. How are you today, Carter?
I'm doing amazing, feeling a little the winter sickness coming, but had a cool business Timberwolves networking event yesterday, so just recovering from that, got home late, so now just relaxing and then get to do this, finish all the homework. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know you
Loving
mentioned
it.
that you were sick and stuff like that. Like long days of travel can do that too. You know, you're in the car for a little, or bus for probably for you.
Bus, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
bus like
Little
that. So you're
coach
probably in there
bus.
for 5 hours probably. So
Yeah,
little.
that
Actually, no,
was
was it 5 hours probably? Two and a half
yeah.
only.
Yep.
Yeah.
2.5
So
each
yeah,
way. So, but how about yourself? What have you
I'm
been
doing
up
pretty
to?
solid. Doing pretty solid. The cut has been cutting so far for me, so that's been going well. But school has been going pretty well. We're nearing the end of the semester, which is kind of crazy to think about because it
Nuts.
seems like we just started before. But no, yeah, we're going through. We're grinding. Continuing to have the best semester I've had so far. We're on track. If we have all of our classes stay the same right now, we would make in the dean's list with all A's. So I
Hell
am very
yeah.
looking forward to that. And it's funny because that'd be my first semester doing it, and I'm in my first year of first year of my master's program. So it's like, how is that possible when you're like you're later
How
on?
does
It's like
how does
it's
that
because
work?
like and it's like the classes actually aren't as buns, and it's actually not some random generals you just have to cram knowledge in and stuff like that. And it's
Yeah.
actually like nutrition classes that I actually like can understand. And then there's like
Yep.
that the cooking class that I had the hairnet on for today. That I have a lab for that. So I do. So people that don't know this, I'm going to explain it. I have a class called Food Principles, and what it is, it's basically how the freaking cook and like what food and like what like the properties of food and like how would this react and stuff like that. So it's basically learning about different types of foods and how you cook them, how you prepare them and stuff like that. So there's a different theme each week, and like frying was one week, baking's another week. Like today we did blueberry muffins, like all about learning the properties of the food and like how to properly prepare these foods, like what equipment to use and stuff like that, because all this like knowledge, and it's also a lecture too that we have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but
That's good.
we have no more lectures for that class anymore, which is awesome. But
Heck yeah.
what basically we're preparing ourselves for is another class that I'm taking right now, which is Health Management 380 is what the thing is, but it is food service operations and purchasing management. And we're all learning about how to be a manager and stuff like that in a food service operations program, to where then I'm taking Health Management 381 next semester. And it's literally just lab all week. You have 2.5 hour labs Monday and Tuesday, and a 50-minute lab Wednesday, not Wednesday, Friday. And it's literally just doing it's putting those cooking skills to use. And we're like working in the Wagner Cafe, which is all of our Wagner Hall, which is like where all the nursing and nutrition students are. And there's actually a kitchen in there and like a cafe, to where we actually have to create a menu and create the recipe,
That's actually
standardize the
insane.
recipe, purchase the items, make sure that we have like the yield and stuff like that. Doing all this, we have a huge formula we have to use and stuff like that, using these costing worksheets and basically putting it all out there. So it's a huge long process, and it takes like 3 hours of your day and stuff like that. So my it's so funny because this semester is my easiest semester that I've had prior 2 years, and then starting this third year at school. Easiest semester by far. And then next semester is by far my worst semester. So
but
next semester is going to be a lot harder for me. But again, like I said, it's only those 2 days kind of. So, and then Wednesdays next semester, I don't have class, so that I have a little break that day.
nice.
And then Thursdays, I only have one class. And then Friday, I only have one class. So I'm not too worried about that. But it's basically like the weekend, I'm just going to be like dreading Monday, Tuesday the entire time. So then like Sunday, I'm going to have to go to bed I'm going to go to bed pretty early, man, because I'm going to have to wake up at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, because I have class from 8 a.m. to no, sorry. I think Friday, Monday. I don't know if it's Monday or Tuesday, but one of the days it's 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm at school the entire time, no breaks. And Tuesday, and then the other day, Monday or Tuesday, I'm at school from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with no breaks. So pretty balls, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. It only gets worse from here. So not like you know what I mean? Not like time consuming wise, but like we start practicum and stuff like that too. And then obviously after next year completely, I start interning in the summer and stuff like that. And that's a whole 3-4 semesters worth. But yeah, we got a good episode for you guys today. Today we're going to be talking about, we'll be kind of doing a little different today. We won't have a fun portion of the episode, but hey, we might have a little extra for you. But also too, I want to give you guys a reminder that I am going to be posting some solo videos on the channel again, because I want to get back into filming and stuff like that. Also during break when we have the time as well. During Christmas break, I think we'll definitely for sure. Might even record some workouts maybe too if we get a few workouts in together. Would love to actually record that as well, because that'd be a lot of fun. And then but like I said, I'm gonna record a few videos. I don't know if for sure those won't be coming out before this, because we're filming this the day before this will be uploaded. But what I will be recording is, so you guys get a little sneak peek of that. I'll be recording a full day of eating, but there's a little caveat to it. It's actually a double full day of eating in one video. Wow, I know, crazy. But it's going to show you what I do for a rest day, which would be on Wednesday. So a rest day's full day of eating, and then also a training day's full day of eating. So you'll guys get a little insight on what I do and what the 2 days vary a lot. There is a lot of variability with it, especially with the meal selection and the meal timing and stuff like that. Excuse me. But you'll get to see how I carb cycle and stuff like that. Why I do lower carbs on rest days. Why I do higher carbs on training days. Why I do certain carbs on at certain times throughout the day. So you guys will definitely get to see that. And then another one that I'm going to be doing as well is that one's actually already fully recorded. So that one actually might be coming out this weekend or Monday, if you guys get to know that. But what I actually recorded for that, it is 4 things that you can do into your life, whether it's lifestyle, nutrition wise, or supplement wise, that you can do, that you can have, that will absolutely change your life for the better. And it might be a little generic. At least one of them is for sure, but it's one that I know we always preach, but I think you guys will really enjoy that. It is literally just 11 12 minutes of me just straight yapping, no cuts of the camera. So I just sat like right up there, set it up in my corner, and I just sit up there and yapped. But I just really wanted to talk and stuff like that. So I feel like that will be something that you guys will really enjoy, and you guys could actually like take a lot of information from, because I do think that is valuable information. I don't bullshit when I say that stuff. I mean, I do think a lot of things that we do in life aren't for the best of our health, but I think if we can change a few things in our daily activities and
just start with a better life, I feel like is what is going to be huge. You know, you don't, like people say, you don't got to go to 0 to 100 real quick. You can take that.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. Like you don't have to go to 0 to 100. Like you don't have when you listen to us talk, maybe you don't have to like follow a strict meal plan. You don't have to exactly eat these exact foods. You need to have these. You need to have these foods exactly at the exact time. Like just add things in when you need it. You know, like if you don't understand things right away, you don't need to throw the kitchen sink at it. Like you can always ask questions. So our DMs are always open, but like you can always just add things that you always want to try and see how they work. Because if you add many things at a time and you see changes and stuff like that, better or worse, you don't know what actually caused those changes. So you would want to have little variables that you change at a time that you know will be effective, and then you can kind of go from there as well. So I hope you guys look forward to that, because that is something that I always kind of do. I think I'm going to do at least one yapping video a week, and then also two. I know full day of eatings are kind of boring, but I also like kind of enjoy doing them. And I kind of eat the same foods every single day, whether it's all the training days and all rest days and stuff like that. It's pretty similar. It's like I say in the video that I recorded, it's gram for gram differences each day, but macros are usually the same and stuff like that. So, but I'll record one definitely when I get deeper into the cut, when carbohydrates are maybe a little bit lower on training days as well. And then lower than they are now, like not like 250 grams, but like more like 200-ish. But and then maybe like when calories on the rest day are like really low and stuff like that, because I'm not like trying to get shredded for a bodybuilding show, but I'm kind of like, this is kind of the perfect time to like get like uncomfortably lean. What I mean by that is because like I'm not going to be in school, so I won't have to worry about my brain like shutting off, because like it almost maybe like a mock bodybuilding show. I probably would be like still 8 weeks out of a show, or like 7 weeks out of a show, but that's still pretty damn lean. So you might see
Yeah.
some complications with your mind and
Brain
stuff like that.
focus
But
and
I just want to see how my body responds to certain things and stuff like that, so I can gather
yeah,
some
it'll be
data.
good test for you
No,
in the
yeah,
future
because
because
like,
I know you want to do shows.
and I saw a statistic out there. It's like, I think it's like 90% of people that start a bodybuilding show or a prep, 90% of them actually don't even get to like week 6, like 6
Yeah,
weeks out,
because it just
six
probably
weeks
just
out,
gets
because their mental just goes in the gutter, and they can't
yeah,
take it. And it's like, it's,
which
yeah,
is fair.
it's a commitment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got a good episode for you guys today. And before we get into what we're going to be talking about, make sure you like and subscribe, because
I
we
love
always
these
enjoy you
banners.
guys coming back and watching us, even if it's just for a little bit or moments at a time. We always enjoy it because we just like having you guys here. We like having you guys listen to us, and we hope you guys just have a great time and learn some information, because, you know, we always like having you guys here. So hopefully you guys like
Indeed.
and subscribe, share this to everyone that you know, and hopefully you guys can get some good information. But, and also too, use code DeerHog at V1. There is a Black Friday sale going on right now. Use code DeerHog, how it's spelled down there, not like my last name, but how it's spelled down there, because it is a good deal, and V1 pre-workout is amazing. The protein powder should be coming back early 2026.
Ooh.
Cookies and cream one is absolutely insane. Probably a top 5 protein powder that I have ever had. The V1 Pro protein powder. So yes, highly get that.
There you go.
At v1.com and v1nutra.com and get yourself 10% off. But what we are doing today might not be a long episode for you guys, but I know some of you guys don't like the long episodes that are hour and a half, 2 hours long. So hey, maybe we'll shorten it up for you guys. I don't know. I like yapping. But we're going to be talking about the most butchered exercises that you see in the gym, and why those are the most butchered exercise, and what people are doing wrong. And what I'm basically saying is your form is buns, is what I'm saying. And even my form could probably use some small tweaking, but
yeah.
For the average gym goer, their form's dog crap. So like, we're going to be doing some things. I'm going to be telling some things. Like, if you understand a little bit of the concept of like how the muscle actually works, like going to anatomy, like what's the action of the muscle, and you kind of just think in that kind of logic, you can kind of set yourself up for a little bit of a better situation. But at the same time, you might not understand that kind of logic, like, oh, what is adduction, abduction, like shoulder flexion, shoulder extension, stuff like that. So it's like, oh, well, I don't know about that. So it's like all that stuff. So you guys might not get some of the lingo, but I'm gonna dumb it down for sure. I'm not gonna talk like in full science mode here. But there's certain things that you might not understand, but that's all right. You can put them down in the comments, and then I can totally respond to them. But yeah, we're gonna go down to form. I don't have any videos and stuff like that. I'm just gonna be talking about it. I might set my camera down and do some motions and stuff like that too. But you won't see it too much, but maybe not. I do like giving a visual representation sometimes there. Had a little stroke there. But going into the first one, this is not in any particular order. I know it might say 1, but it's not like the most butchered exercise. It's just what I came to mind that I know is pretty butchered. And that is going to be a chest press. And what I mean by that is it could be anything. It could be the bench press. It could be a machine chest press. It could be incline dumbbell. It can be a Smith machine. It can be Smith machine incline, like any sort of chest press. And the reason why it's so butchered is because people's shoulders and their scapulas are either way too retracted back. And you've been always taught that thing, like you want to retract and get a huge arch for your chest. You really want to see that stretch on that chest with that big arch. And that's actually only putting your chest in a worse position for activation. And it wasn't literally until a few months ago when I started. There's a guy on YouTube, Instagram, stuff like that. He's really, really small. Like, he has like 4,000 followers on Instagram. He has about only like 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. But I'm going to pull up his YouTube because he is pretty interesting. And a lot of this stuff is super, 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 he's not like science-based, like that type of science-based, like that I'm talking about. But like, he is very into the what do you call it? Like he's very into models with like the skeleton models and stuff like that, and showing like people's like structures and stuff like that as well. But like also showing what flaws they have, like internal rotations, like external rotations in their pelvis and stuff like that. He's the rib cage compression. That was him and stuff like that. So like he's someone that I've really been kind of listening to. But yeah, 15.5K subscribers. But he kind of goes into a lot of I'm trying to think of what you call it, just like the expansion models and stuff like that. So he kind of brings in a lot of good stuff about form. So it's really nice listening to him because he kind of has a really good understanding of it. But
Members only.
yeah, I know
Dang.
you can do that. But no, yeah, he is very knowledgeable. But like with the chest press and stuff like that, I see people going. First of all, I see people going way too deep on their chest presses, especially if they're using a machine that doesn't have like a bar that goes onto their chest and it's like the handles over here.
Mm-hmm.
Your chest obviously does benefit a little bit from a stretch. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but the pecs do lose a little bit of advantage in their strength as if you get too deep. So, and also too, if you go too deep, you're probably putting your shoulders in a disadvantaged position, might be risking some injury there. So I like going at a comfortable position to where it's not too deep, but it's stopping, you know, right around the midline of the body and where your elbows might be parallel with your body as well. And then going out to when people do people like locking out on their chest presses. I'm not saying you can't lock out, obviously, because it's full range of motion, but
Uh-huh.
knowing the objective of the lift, like a chest press, like maybe if your triceps have if you only feel any pressing movements to your triceps, one, your grip's probably way too close, which is another thing that people also have that is probably a big issue with their form is they only feel in their triceps or their shoulders. Their grip's probably way too close. You need that. You should probably have more of a stacked wrist to elbow position. And also, too, you're probably arching too much as well. And you're not keeping a stacked rib cage in body. So you want to have like do not want to have a big arch. You want to be stacked pretty well. Like you don't want to have like any sort of like layers and stuff like that behind you and stuff like you want to have like a pretty stacked body to where
Mm-hmm.
your pelvis is stacked with your rib cage. So what you would want to do with that is if you feel it in your triceps a lot, take out the end range of the motion. That is one thing that has saved me a ton because I've noticed that my triceps tend to take over, especially near the end of the set. And that's another thing too. Near the end of the set, people start really breaking down their form. And that's one thing I need to preach with any of these is your form should be the exact same from the first rep to the last rep. It should not be, you should not be breaking down. You should not be like lifting up the chest at the
Mm-hmm.
last set, the last rep. Like, no, they should all look the same. They should all feel the same. If your form is breaking down near the end of the set, those reps don't fucking count because that's not how you were lifting before. It's like when people get in the mindset of I need to progressively overload. I need to get another rep to see progress, and their form just breaks down. Like I got that extra rep. Well,
Mm-hmm.
no, you really didn't because you broke down your form and stuff like that. So when I see people doing like, especially with an incline chest press, arm path is pretty dictated for this, but I'm not going to say arm path and is probably a good indicator because your upper pecs is a shoulder flexor, meaning that's what your shoulder flex. This is shoulder flexion. So
Yep.
obviously too, though, the pecs as well, they do horizontal adduction. So they're also going to bring your arm across to your body. So that's why a pec fly is this horizontal adduction. And a chest press, horizontal adduction. And there's also a little bit of shoulder flexion there too. And then so if you're doing, that's why I like for incline dumbbell, which is I've been doing recently. And if you have a chest press machine that has a neutral grip, that is S tier, God tier chest movement right there. Because even if it's on a flat machine or whatever, if you have that neutral grip, you're actually getting more pec activation with that because there's going to be a little more shoulder flexion. But I'm not going to say that you won't be getting any upper pec if you weren't doing a neutral grip because there's been thousands, if not millions of people that have done no neutral grip and have built the juiciest upper chest ever. So I'm just saying this for the average Joe that does not have a good chest. So your arm path is pretty dictated. So when I say you want your elbows more tucked in, that's just promoting more shoulder flexion for the upper pecs. And when I say when the form breaks down later, is what I see is maybe someone's doing like maybe I'm doing so like a chest press machine. Let's just say I'm on a chest press machine here that like I could go like this, or I could do like the neutral grip. And I'm doing the neutral grip, and you see here my elbows are relatively tucked. And then maybe near the end of the step, I'm like and then your elbows start coming out more.
Yeah.
The more your elbows start flaring out, the less you're taking away from the movement that you were initially. So that's one thing I always do. Pick a weight that you can, first of all, go to failure, obviously, but also too, knowing how your form is. That's why filming your lifts are very important, because if you can understand and see the differences in your reps throughout the lift, throughout the set, you can know when the form breaks down, and you know when you can adjust it. So that would be one thing, is knowing your arm path and knowing when your elbows might be flaring out and stuff like that, knowing when your shoulders might be going too forward, knowing you're not having a stacked position, knowing when you're going too deep, and making sure you're not having too much of an arch. You might have a little bit of an arch naturally, but it shouldn't be pinching those shoulder blades back and just like, if you don't feel your freaking chest in the chest press, you're doing something wrong. Like that used to be me. I'll give an example. Like, I used to be good at the bench press, but not gonna lie, I didn't feel shit in my chest. And I would be lying if I said I did. Like, that's why I abandoned the chest press, the bench press, because I just didn't feel anything in my chest. And I didn't feel anything in my chest. It was a shoulders and triceps movement for me. So it was pointless for me to do the bench press, or someone else, like my friend Thomas. Like, he's great at the bench press, and I can see his chest working perfectly. And he says he feels chest. Like, I'm not going to tell him not to do that, because his chest is working and he's lifting. So we might as well just keep doing it. So one person might say exercise is dog shit, but it might work great for another person. So just because it doesn't work for you doesn't mean it does not work for other people. So the chest press, first one that we have on here. Next one is a pretty interesting one, because it is a lat pull down. And a lot of these are butchered, because there's a few ways these can be butchered. And I know machines can vary and stuff like that. The pad, where the pad is, and where the cable, and where the cable comes down, I know it can vary for a lot of people in their setup. So I know that can be a little buns for some people, because I know my lat pull down, like at my gym, the pad is a little backwards more and stuff like that. It's just like the angle's a little odd, but that's why I kind of stick more to assisted pull-ups. But for a lat pull down, usually what we want to do, if we're using the wide bar, obviously, we're going to be doing adduction or shoulder adduction right here. So we're going to bring in our shoulder right here. So just imagine if I was holding on to the wide bar here, and I was doing like a rep down here, bringing it to, I usually bring it around to my mouth. You do not need to bring it down to your chest.
Oh, really?
Okay. No, yeah, you don't.
That's actually huge.
You can if you want, but what I like to do is maintain a stack, so I'm not leaning back. You might want to slight lean as you bring it down, but it shouldn't be crazy. It shouldn't be crazy. You shouldn't be turning it into an upper back pull down. Like, you think about it as
lean back. I've seen that.
Your elbows to your hips. And what I like to do is, I lied. I said I might not be doing as much of these, but I am. But so you're doing these, and like here, what I like to do, and it's harder because I'm not actually doing the lift.
Yeah, you're just lifting air.
And doing like this and like leaning back a ton is what I'm doing. Is I like to get here, and I slightly lean, but I have the bar more in front of me, because what the lats are then at a better position for the movement. And I know me just talking about it, me like giving a slight example of it here isn't probably the greatest, but the lats, you're going to lose some leverage if you lean back a ton and you are like yanking the weight down and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm not saying that people that do that aren't having big backs. There's probably going to be 1,000 examples out there of people doing that and having huge back, but they probably genetics. But lat pull downs, people have probably too close a grip sometimes as well, and people are too afraid to go wider. The only reason why they're afraid to go wider is, I can't do as much weight. Yeah, because you can't do as much weight because the moment arm is out wider and it's more on your lats, dude. Mm-hmm. It's not as much. There's not as much muscles being helped out in as you are more inside. You're getting more biceps. You might be getting a little more pec as well, because the pec as well, like I said, just shoulder flexion. So if you're holding the bar up here, your shoulders are kind of in a flex position, so your pecs actually take. So that's why I also say too, the form is butchered as well, because people think they need this massive top range of motion up here, and once you get all the way up here, there's nothing on your lats, bro. Nothing. Yeah. The lats are disengaged, and it's actually more of a pec than anything.
Ooh.
So what I like to do is play around with it and know how you feel. Like you start with a lighter weight, and if you can feel that shift in tension from your lats to your chest, that's how you kind of know your stopping point. So what I like to do is, obviously I don't get the full range of motion on this. I don't know what the exact like degree angle it is, but because I'm not that science based, but there's a relative drop off point. So I stop right before
37.
that and I go down here. It's a good range of motion, but it's not as big as you think. And once you get to that motion and you practice it, you can definitely see some improvements with it. But
37
another thing
degrees.
too, I would say that the selection of the grip, it doesn't matter too much. The only thing I would say is toss out the baby handle grip. I need to find a picture of it that people know what I'm talking about. People love that. Trying to find it for the gym. Close hand grip. Back. I can't find. I'm trying to find the like. It's this one. Okay, but like, I'm not.
Yeah, you might just
share
have
my
to look
screen
up
here.
close grip or something.
It's this one right here. So this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that one.
When people use the baby handle on here. Okay, it's not gonna let me do that. It's stupid. But whoa. But yeah, people using the baby handle and stuff like that. You're gonna get more biceps in there and stuff. Paul Carter had a great reel. It's like him rowing on the Smith machine, and it's like you wouldn't row this close on.
Oh
the
yeah,
Smith
that
machine.
you sent me that. I was like,
then why but yet you use this, and it's like exactly like why would you use that? It buns. And I know people might say, oh, I'm targeting the lats and stuff like that. There's plenty of other handles to do a row with that and stuff too.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing a lat pull down, you do not need the baby handle grip. That is buns. But you just have a emotional attachment to that, and it's an N=1. So I would say that one's bad, but literally just a classic straight bar that is there, like the angled bar. That's fine. People say the mag grips and stuff like that. People say those are bad, but I mean, I used to use those and love them, but now I don't really use them anymore because you can't really use straps with them as much. But just because you can't use straps with them doesn't mean they're bad. They're still fine. Like if you have those at your gym, fucking use them. I don't care. But so yeah, the lat pull down again is pretty butchered and stuff like that. People aren't really engaging their lats. They're kind of just doing the motion and just hoping that their back gets targeted. So
engage.
Actually think about the movement. And third up that we have is squats. And with squats, you might be thinking like, oh yeah, the barbell squat. Well, yeah, the barbell squat, but I don't really see much people barbell squatting much anymore, to be honest. A lot need some power lifters and stuff like that. But for me personally, the barbell squat is not something that I personally like. It just kind of feels uncomfortable for me. Maybe just because I suck at it, but it doesn't help that I'm 6'2". So it doesn't help that you're like 6'5". So I mean, like, it does not help whatsoever that we're above average height. So and also with our biomechanics, with our like femur length, stuff like that, torso length, it's a little hard, at least for me and you. So but with squats, one, stop low bar squatting. Your quads are not getting nearly as much with that. That is one thing I see. And then you do want some knees over toes for quad engagement, but that isn't necessarily a requirement. And then people aren't getting low enough. First of all, they're doing these half squats that I see at the gym. And we're talking about the average Joe here at the gym. They're doing the most half rep squats ever. You want some knee flexion in there. So you want basically the back of your calf to almost squish up to your hamstrings. That not necessarily all the way down there, I'm saying, but like you want a good amount of knee flexion in there. But the lower you can go, the better is obviously the thing. But the one thing I do see though, well, also too, first before I bring up that point, people are bringing their backs way too much into their squats, whether on the Smith machine and barbell. So that's why I always opt for the hack squat, or I opt for a belt squat, because on a hack squat, you have the pad up here and stuff like that. There's no way for you to round your back. You're staying straight up. Your chest is up. Your chest is proud. Think of a proud chest. You want a proud chest when you're doing a squat. So that puts you in a proud chest position. And then what I was going to say previously is you have to have contact on 3 points, 3 points of contact on your feet the entire time when you're doing the lift. What I mean by that is the inside of your big toe type, like the 2 points on your feet at the top, your big toe and your pinky toe, and you need your freaking heels to stay on the ground the entire time. Your heels should not be coming off the ground. And the only time they should be is if you're performing like a sissy squat. But your quads are disengaging if you're not doing that. So you want to make sure your quads, that's the point of the squat. We're not trying to train our glutes here. The glutes aren't the main point of the movement. Like we're trying to train our quads. The glutes are also a byproduct of that as well. And so is adductors, but we're trying to train the quads. That's what we're targeting the most. So we want to have our heels on the ground. We want to have our heels always on the ground when we're doing a squat, all throughout the range of the motion. And that's the one in the back. Like I said, back too. You need to have your back at somewhat of a good angle. You want a proud chest. I'm not saying you have it super extended. Your super extension in the spine. Like I'm not saying that. Like find what's comfortable. Record your lifts. See how it works for you. And I'm not saying adjust every little tiny minute detail, but fix the major things because it does make a difference.
Major things, and then probably I don't know this for a fact, but probably do it what feels comfortable. Because if it's like, well, the science says to do this, but if it's like pulling on something, you probably don't want to do it.
No, yeah,
to an extent, but
no, yeah, exactly. That's like people will take like people will take a statement by someone and just totally run off with like whatever they think they can about that. I'm like, bro, I did not say that.
Yeah, right. Luke said.
But yeah, so squats. Basically, chest up, heels on the ground.
Proud
and
chest,
use a hack squat. Abandon the barbell back squat. That will be my one personal statement, not backed by science, because you can still build quads with a barbell squat.
Yeah.
But ditch the barbell squat and ditch the ego, because you don't need to be doing a ton of weight, because then you're only going to be breaking down your form more. Not to say that like heavy weight and low rep, like that type of approach isn't important, because that's what I do. I mean, I go to failure almost most lifts and stuff like that, and squats too. But if you're doing too heavy of weight and you're focusing on weight, your form's probably not going to be there. So that's what I mean by that. Then going on to the next one is the tricep extension. And you might be thinking, well, Luke, what are you talking about? It's just extending the arm. It's just literally extending the arm. Well,
it's in the name.
It is just extending the arm, but you're fucking not doing that. But what I'm saying is, like, when you're doing a tricep extension, you need, I'm gonna spill my Queen American. That would have been terrible. But when you're doing a tricep extension, you're extending the arm. That's it. So it's pretty boring. Triceps suck. Triceps, you can do an extension, or you can do like a JM press, like a skull crusher, whatever. That won't train the lawn head though. Or you can do an overhead, but I don't think that will train the lawn head as well. But so you're doing tricep, you're doing an extension. But what I see people doing, especially when they're doing single arm, they're moving their shoulder, they're putting it down because they can't actually do the lift with their triceps. So they have to make it up with a little bit of shoulder dip. And then when they're coming up, it's like that. So you're not even doing the lift correctly. And then you see that going off from rep 1. And it's like, well, lower the weight, bud. And it's the same people I see do it every single time. And it's like
that's ego. I see that.
Yeah. And then I'm actually also going to replace one of these with another one. There we go.
Midday.
But tricep extensions, that is literally the one gripe that I have with them. People absolutely obliterate with their shoulders. They're putting way too much shoulder pressure on that, and they're not actually extending their elbow. You need to extend the arm, because that is the only portion of a tricep the tricep extension. Just extend your arm and keep your elbow in damn place. Do not have it go forward. Do not have it go backwards as you're going down. Keep it in place. If you can't keep it in place and you can't keep your shoulder out of the movement, lower the weight. That is literally like kind of preaching what all these can be, whether it's a tricep extension, whether it's a squat, whether it's a lat pull down, whether it's a chest press. If you can't do it with the right range of motion and the right form, lower the damn weight. That is basically it. Like I can say that for everything and we could end the episode right here. Oh, just lower the weight. Oh, perfect. And then, but that won't be anything. But like the tricep
Get it.
extension, like
Yeah.
whether it's a single arm, whether it's on the rope, whether it's on the jagged bar, V bar, whatever you want to call those bars, like any of them is literally extending the arm. So what you have to do is just extend the arm. Do not put your shoulders into it. If you put your shoulders into it, it's taken away from your triceps and you're not actually doing the exercise correctly. And then I switched this one because this made me think of specifically like someone I see at the gym all the time. And I'm like, this just like,
enemy?
and like, yeah, somewhat a gym enemy. And like that I never talk to. That guys have this, like, there's one specifically that you have like a gym enemy and you've never spoken to this person. They've never spoken to you and they've never even done anything to you. You just kind of just like have an enemy.
Probably the nicest guy too.
Yeah. And like, he'll like load extra weight up with a gym pin too for this exercise.
Oh no.
And he's literally not doing the targeted exercise correctly. And that is ab crunches, people. Whether it's on the machine, whether it's on the cable with the rope, which is how I do them. And I think that's actually the best way. People do that horribly because I'm not going to show a representation of this because it would make me look like I'm sucking something, but on my knees.
Might get clipped there.
But people, what they do is when you're doing an ab crunch, your six pack, the six pack muscle that you're trying to grow when you're doing your abs, that is spinal flexion. They flex the spine, meaning your spine has to flex. So you have it out here and you flex the spine. Think about bringing your sternum, which is the muscle in between your pecs right here, or not the muscle, the bone in between your pecs.
Yep.
There's 3 portions of it. You bring your sternum to your belly button. And what I see this person doing all the time is they have the straightest back ever, and they're basically just flexing their hip. That's all they're doing. They're flexing their hip. You're working your hip flexors. That's what you're doing. And you're working a little bit of your core too, but there's no spinal flexion and the back straight. And they're just kind of going straight and it's woo. And it's like, yeah, you can do more weight because you're taking gravity with you too, because you have more of your body weight to like just fall to the ground. And then also too, like if you have to control it up, but like you're doing just hip flexion. That's all you're doing is hip flexion and extension. You're not actually, you might be getting a little like spinal erectors in there too as well, but like you're not actually hitting your abdominals. So you need spinal flexion. I will post a video eventually of me actually doing them, but I do not want to get clipped right now. So I will not be doing that randomly here in the middle of my house or my apartment. So I will be doing that at the gym. So it looks a lot better. But like, and also too, if you have an ab crunch machine, those are a lot easier to stay into that spinal flexion.
I wish I had that.
Especially if you have one that like, it's like the straps kind of just go over your back or you can hold up on top and you can really, and it like puts you in that position. That's when you can actually get in there. But with the cable, I see people butcher it all the time.
So unfortunate that
it's truly bad. Like, and
I love that it's your gym enemy too. Makes it better.
It's like one of those. I probably have a few gym enemies. It's like,
it's just funny because I can picture mine now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you probably go up to him. He's probably gonna be like the nicest person, but
it usually tends to be. But like, total side rant here. Like the gym enemy thing is like, I always get so annoyed with something. There was one that I had. He doesn't go to the gym anymore, I don't think. But there was one that like it was so bad. Like he would always be on the machines that I freaking needed, dude.
Oh, that's the worst.
And it's like, oh, I can just do something else. And it's like, no, I actually just can't do anything else, bro. I can't do a dip. There's no other leg curl, bro. I'm not like, there's no other seated leg curl. And like, oh, you can just do something else. And it's like, yeah, I know, but I don't want to start off my day with squats. Like the leg curl, I want to start it off with because it warms up your knees better for squats and like all blah, blah, blah.
Get it going,
like,
yeah.
And then there's stuff like that. It's like, or it's like, oh, this back machine's taken. It's like, well, yeah, I could do something else, but like you're always on the machines I use, and it just gets so annoying and stuff like that. And then and like, not to say that like the way I lift is like okay. I do know more about like what more optimal lifting is than most of these people. I'm not going to say that since I'm doing more optimal movement, that means I have priority. But like these people are doing the most mediocre exercise ever when they're doing it too. Probably like 10 RIR, super lightweight, and they're doing a jabillion sets.
Jabronis.
So
Silly
yeah, that was a
dudes.
little side rant there, but absolute ridiculous. Get that tomfoolery out of the gym because it does not belong there.
Get them out.
And then going on to one of my favorite exercises because it is only probably my most dominant muscle group that I have on my physique, both leanness wise and muscularity wise. It is calves, and it is the calf raise. And what I mean by the calf raise is thanks to both my parents, actually.
Right.
My mom like works out, but
yeah,
she had big calves before she worked out, and it's not like she grew massive calves. It's
that was her.
Then she's like an anabolic mother. But my dad never. I don't think he's ever worked his calves ever in his life, but like in the gym or anything like that. And he has massive calves.
Hard working. Just back in the day.
And my brother, he goes to the gym, but like he's probably never done a set of calf raises. Even none of them probably done a set of calf raises correctly in their life, but or even have done a set of calf raises. And my brother has like pretty decently big calves. So it kind of just runs in the family. So I think my parents are the good calf genetics.
Right?
They're not even like crazily low inserted. I would say they're average to above average insertions for how low they are, but they got big pretty easily. I don't have to do much to maintain them. But the butchering portion that I see this is one, they're using the poopy little seated leg curl, the one that you add the plate on,
or calf.
The calf raises. Sorry, yeah, they're using the seated one where you have the bent knee. And I don't know what the study is on that. I probably should pull it up. I'm too fucking lazy. But the study they did where they have the seated calf raise versus a straight-legged calf raise, and a bent knee versus straight leg. And supposedly the bent knee one is supposed to target the soleus more. And they actually did like an 8-week study, and they actually saw that the straight-legged version actually grew the soleus and the gastroc way more. Like it was a ridiculous amount. So I know I put it in my Discord there too. Maybe I'll drop the Discord link down there too. Link in the bio for my Discord. Everyone pop that in. It's the DR Nutrition Discord. But literally, like it blew it out of the water. So there's no reason to be doing the bent knee calf raise.
Mm-hmm.
So get that out of your program. And what you need to be doing too is what they saw is that this is literally excuse me, I need to cough here, but little break.
And while we wait, the Vikings are terrible.
Indeed. But I'm back. Sorry.
Whoa.
Like watery eye there too.
Yeah, it must have been a good one.
Oh yeah, I know. But that because something on that drink down the back of my throat there.
Yeah.
But the calf raise, like you want to make sure that your knee, like obviously you're doing the straight leg version, but this is one of the only muscles in our body that actually benefits it with with lengthened partials. And that was a huge thing. It's like, oh, after you can't do a full rep anymore, like do lengthened partials to burn out and stuff like that. And then he found that those actually do nothing for muscle growth. Like I remember a year or 2 years ago, lengthened partials were like the biggest thing, especially with lat pull downs. Like do just some lengthened partials at the end, and then you realize that that's doing nothing but causing more fatigue and actually no growth, unless you're an absolute noob in the gym and have the newbie gains. With calf raises, that's the only one that actually benefits from a lengthened partial. So if you think about it, a lengthened partial in the lengthened position of the movement, it's a partial range of motion. So we're going to be prioritizing the bottom or the stretch portion of the movement, meaning that you want to stay in the stretch portion, meaning that you're going to be at the bottom of the movement for about 2 to 3 seconds. And then when you go back up, so just meant the pads here, you're facing this way, and then so you're going like this, and your calves are like that. The balls, your feet are on here, like this. You can do on a leg press, horizontal leg press, vertical leg press, whatever those things. And then you go here to neutral, or I like to go a little above neutral to feel a tiny little bit more contraction, but that is just pure anecdotal. But going from the stretch position to neutral or above neutral is perfect. You do not need to go all the way up because calf doesn't really grow too much from there. So that's one thing I always see is abandon the bent knee position, because the bent knee position is dookie. And also, too, make sure you're prioritizing the bottom half of the movement. If you do like doing full range of motion, perfectly fine. But the one thing I would suggest is spend more time in the bottom half of the motion. And I would say for 2 to 3 seconds, like 1,000, 2 1,000, 3, and then go up. Like on 3, then you can go up. Like if you like going up to get a full contraction, absolutely. But I wouldn't stay there in the full contraction for like a 1,000, 2. Just contract and then go, and then you control the weight back down, and then 1,000, 2 1,000, 3, and do it again. So that's what I say with calf raises. Pretty simple stuff like that. That one's more of a simple one. And then now this next one is no joke, probably the most butchered one by far, because I don't know. Like people just like go on a machine and thinks it targets their upper back. So I just gave it right there, upper back. It is the upper back row, because this one is purely dictated, not purely, but mostly dictated by your arm path. And I got to cough again here.
Oh no.
Cough/burp, sorry. And also my little thing broke off. My protector, the protector on the back of my computer. But put that back on. But the upper back row here, it's different from a lat row, obviously, because your lats are down here, your traps are your traps aren't just your traps aren't just these muscles. It's your entire mid back is what we're talking about. So with your upper back, what you see constantly with form breaking down. Had to get a drink there. But so for your lats perform shoulder extension, and that would be bringing your shoulder down to here. So the closer that your elbow gets to your hip, the more lat and less traps, because the traps adduct the scaps. And what I mean in anything adduction, adduction, I'm going to say, so adduction, adduction is bringing it towards the midline of the body. So like I said, horizontal adduction. Holy crap, we're bringing this towards the midline of the body. Doing adductors. This is going to be kind of sus. You're going to see my crotch here. But doing adductors into here. Holy crap, you're bringing your legs into the midline of your body. Adduction. If you're doing the other way, that would be AB, abduction. So with upper back, it's going to adduct your scapula. If you think about it, holy crap, my scapulas are going to the midline of my body. So what would you think about that? Scapular retraction. That's also what it is. So how do we achieve that? Well, to also not get the lats in there and you want full scapular retraction, you're probably going to have your elbow out a little bit more towards the 90 degree. So the more closer that you bring it into your elbows, the more lats you can do. And you can even just test that right now. Just stand like right here and then bring it down lower. You can kind of feel your lats start to get a little more tight as you bring them down. So your lats, this is the one thing that gets butchered the most. You see people, they do the lift. They might start out here and then it's just and then they like instinctively bring it to their hip. So lower the damn weight. First of all, like I've ego checked myself a billion times on this lift. Lower the weight and think about it like this. You want to be retracting your scaps and adducting them while bringing your humerus and your arms to like the midline, to like around like this portion of the body. So when you're doing this, it's like this, like that. See, I know my right arms, my right shoulder is like more internally rotated than the other one, but like this. See, and then also too, you can have the chest supported pad, and you can kind of you can pronate your shoulders more, and you can round your scaps. But like I said, here it's literally like here to here.
Boom.
And that's all one continuous motion. But when people might start off their set perfectly. Like, oh my gosh, like I do feel in my traps. And they might want to push for more reps. And as they push for more reps, and it's like, like you might get some, you might be getting some scapular adduction and stuff like that. But at the same time, your lats are getting a lot more stimulus, a lot more contraction than they actually should be. So when you're targeting upper back, you want your elbows more at a 90-degree angle, and you want to make sure they're staying there, and you want to adduct your scapula, you want to retract the scaps, and you want to make sure you're bringing your arms back That is the goal of the movement. Is there any other lifts that you have any questions about or anything like that? Like, or any like fun things that you see in the gym, like with like form wise?
No, you kind of nailed my top one, which was just calf raises and squats.
Mm. And then like there's some
that,
niche ones and stuff like that. Like I'm trying to think of like a super niche exercise, not like a niche exercise, but like something you might not think someone would be completely butchering because it's kind of hard to, but like biceps, dude, a bicep curl is impossible to mess up.
Yeah.
The only thing I would be is like if you're
Swinging
curling on if you're swinging the weight, or if like you're on a preacher curl and like you're leaning back then to get the rep, and it's like, well, you're kind of using some spinal some spinal extension there. Might be using a little bit of shoulders to like push the weight up back too. So kind of with like your biceps, like if you're doing a preacher curl, keep your damn elbows on the pad. That will also help. And then like don't swing, but you can kind of use a little momentum. It really depends, honestly. It really depends on what the momentum is. If it's like the slightest swing from like bringing the weight kind of down more, that's fine. If you reset yourself quick before the other side, like on an alternating dumbbell curl, totally fine. But if you're using the swing to absolutely get the weight up, lower the damn weight. That's kind of the main thing for this entire thing is ego check yourself. Like you want to form max. We're form maxing here because if you're not form maxing, you're ego maxing. That's all it is. So we're here to form max. And what we want to form max is like we're trying to actually do the movement correctly. So drop the ego. We don't care. No one cares about how much weight you do. You could be super jacked and not do as much weight as someone else and be like, oh, you just mock them to death. So does not matter how much weight you do. We're not in high school anymore. It doesn't matter how much. Like that's why I want to get rid of the bench press. Like people always, how much you bench, bro? Like stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
right.
No one cares how much you bench. I could care less if I could bench 185 or 315. I mean, it'd be cool to bench 315, but I'm not saying that I want to. But if you look good, you look good. I think at this day and age, especially when we're in college and this age, whatever age we're at, like people are more going for looks, the look of looking jacked, shredded, lean, stuff like that. People care more about that than how much you can bench. So drop the ego is one, drop the weight that also goes and coincides with it, and fix your form. And think about the form continuously throughout the entire set. Don't just abandon it after the first 2 reps just because you let your mind wander. That's why also too, having a good pre-workout and having a good pre-workout nutrition and having the right music as well that can also improve your focus. Because if you're not focused during your workout, you're talking with other people and stuff like that, you're getting distracted by other people, you're getting distracted by your phone, you're getting distracted by other things, your form's not going to be there. You're not going to be able to dial into your workout. That's why pre-workout, I actually do believe is pretty beneficial because caffeine can help dial you in. And there's other focus ingredients like alpha GPC, L-tyrosine, and stuff like that. Huperzine as well, lion's mane extract. Those can all actually help you focus as well. So
I love that. I love
you need to like mushroom cordyceps also is another one too. Like you don't need to be taking pre-workout, but you need to be having some sort of level of focus, whether that's from caffeine or from music, improving neural drive and stuff like that, and motivation. So
or just mental will, apparently.
Yeah, mental will and stuff like that. And like the people that say they don't want to even go to the gym, like, bro, like I don't even know what to tell you. Like people start off going to the gym to maybe to get bigger and to like improve and to like get seen by girls and stuff like that, or the opposite gender, but or whatever gender they like. But literally it's like once you get into the gym and you actually go away from that goal, you start realizing how much fun training actually is. At least for us too. Like I don't go to the gym just because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just going because I want to get bigger. I go because I freaking love it. It's literally the best part of my day. Like I actually love working out in the mornings because I go to bed and I know that one of the first things I get to do in the day is train. And then also too, I might go to bed earlier too. So I just have I have a pretty consolidated day and stuff. And then even if I don't train in the morning also too, I still wake up early because, you just get more of a day, you get more of a morning, especially with it getting dark around 5 o'clock here. So you just get more of a day. That's also not part of form, but wake up early. You don't need to be sleeping in till 9, 10, 11 o'clock, even on the weekends.
Unless you go to bed late.
Unless you go to bed late, you need to still get, I would say, minimum 6 hours, because for gains too much, sleep deprivation and stuff like that, they see that compared to like total sleep deprivation for 3 days and good sleep for 3 days, there was no difference in recovery and stuff like that, because more sleep or better sleep doesn't actually help with recovery. But obviously, if you had bun sleep, only 4 hours of sleep for 2 weeks in a row or 3 weeks in a row, yeah, you might see some issues, especially if you're natural. But no, I'm not saying that sleep isn't important, because of course it's gonna have an effect on mood, maybe some fatigue, stress levels as well. Did I say hormones?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So
you did, at least.
Yeah. So those are all going to be affected by sleep, but your recovery from the gym, like, there is no myofibrillar changes in recovery from that. So don't be up in arms if you get 6 hours of sleep one night. It doesn't matter. If you get consistently 7, 8 hours of sleep every night, you're perfectly fine. Even if you had a week of sleeping in between 5 and 6 hours and stuff like that, maybe sprinkle one night of 8 hours, you're fine. Like, if you're on vacation and stuff like that, probably not even worried about the gym. But at the same time, you probably should be prioritizing sleep, just so, one, you're not tired the next day, and two, you have a routine. That's the thing. You can standardize everything. You have a routine. You can get in a routine. That's the whole thing too, because people can't stick to a diet because they're staying up late, they aren't going to bed, stuff like that. So if you can stick to routine and you can go to bed the same night every single day, same time every single night, and then wake up at the same time roughly every single day. So routines can actually, sleeping routines are one of the best things actually for sticking to a diet and sticking to a workout plan. Because if you fall, and also too, once you start actually working out and stuff like that and getting into that routine, you're going to get tired and stuff like that near the end of the day, because you actually put in the drive, you put in the work and put in the effort. Like me, after doing especially a lower day, and then also having, because I do 20 minutes of stairs post workout. That's my cardio that I do. And I get a total of 14,000 steps, is like, that's including like all other activities and stuff like that. But I usually get like around 17,000 steps a day. That's including like any like planned cardio that I have. But I'm tired by the end of the day. It's like, I know I worked for it, and like I'm not doing too much, but I know that, hey, like, this is putting me in a position that I know I can go to bed early, I can wake up early and be ready to go for the next day. So if I literally have anything for you guys, it would literally be, one, form max, and two, get in a routine, man. And a workout routine, sleep routine, diet routine. You should be eating around the same times every single day. That only improves your hunger cues. If you're eating at random times throughout the day, many days in a row, your hunger signaling and stuff like that will be skewed and off. So if you eat at the same times every single day, your body's just gonna like naturally like want to eat at that same time every single day.
It's time to eat.
Like for me, like my days are pretty similar. So like I wasn't even thinking about food for the, like, I ate at 3 o'clock because I worked out at 7 o'clock, because then I had my pre-workout meal at 6 a.m. because I woke up at 5 a.m. And then so I ate at 6. Then I ate at 10:45 because that's when I got done with everything. And I showered and cooked my potatoes and stuff like that. And then I had lab at 1. And then I got back and I had my Greek yogurt, my goat bowl at 3 p.m. And then now I'm gonna have ground turkey, turkey slices, broccoli, carrots, and a fiber wrap around 7 o'clock. So in about 30 minutes. And I'm not even like crazy hungry, and even though I'm dieting right now, it's just because my mind's so busy, stuff like that. I've been busy, so find things to be busy too. I know this is kind of turned into like a routine / dieting thing, but find things to do. Don't sit on your couch all day. Like that's only going to make things worse.
Yeah, no kidding.
Be active, whether it's even walking in your house, walking in your apartment or stuff like that. Like I get most of my steps actually from walking inside my apartment. Like tomorrow when I wake up, I won't go to the gym for cardio, and it's gonna be cold outside. So I'm going to walk probably 3 miles back and forth my apartment. 1, it's warm in here. 2, I can just get up and start walking in the morning. And 3, I
Right.
can sit on my phone while I'm walking. I just go on my phone while walking, and it's warm, and I don't have to have headphones on. I just play it out loud and stuff like that. So that if I have to leave, the last thing we're going to leave you off with is find a routine, form max, and also 2, just stick to the routine.
Stick to it.
So that will conclude our episode today of the Optimal Nutrition Podcast. Like we said, hope you liked this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And make sure you subscribe to the channel for weekly uploads and probably multiple uploads a week now, because I believe as we're getting near the end of the semester, I'm going to be recording more solo videos. Maybe you might record a video or 2 or something like that. I don't know. It might be fun to see your POV of like a full day of eating, or like a day in the life. I definitely might do a day in the life or something like that too. And also too, my gym, I can't record in the gym until I need to sign a waiver.
Mine is busy as crap.
Yeah, I need to sign a waiver for that. So I will definitely sign that waiver and then start recording in the gym, because I want to show you guys some things, because I feel like some people can get some advantage from that. And like, I record and then I can put the recording up on here and we can like react through it and talk through it. So I think that'd be very beneficial. So hopefully that's something that you guys would like seeing. And also too, like I said, use the code DROG at V1 for a 10% discount. And love you guys. Hope you guys have a great start of your weekend, and hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving as well. And see you guys later.
Peace.